welcome Gertie Ensley, our new parishioners. Gertie, it is such a joy to have you with us today. It is such an amazing joy to have parishioners who started today. Thank you for being here. Now, Gertie and I are just going to be asking some questions to Gertie in a few minutes, just so she can tell us a bit more about parish nursing and also tell us a bit about herself. But I'd just like to give you this little reflection before we start. A man who lives out in British Columbia still swims daily, although he's well into his 90s. And when asked by a CBC reporter what the secret to a long and healthy life is, he replied, "Be on good terms with your Maker." Now his words stayed with me, for in my experience walking with people who are sick, who are dying, who are grieving, I have found that people who are connected by faith to God have a strength that is beyond themselves. They have a hope and a confidence and a peace that comes from being on good terms with their Maker. Through a close and intimate connection with God, people of faith learn to trust God to work goodness into their lives in the most painful of circumstances. Many times when Jesus healed, he said, "Your faith has made you well," whether it was blind Bartimaeus, or the daughter of the centurion, or the woman who suffered from a hemorrhage of blood. It was faith in the power of God to heal them that facilitated their healing. Jesus recognized that faith is essential to our well-being, and the basis of faith is trust. Faith in God is trust that God has the will and the power to care for us. Faith trusts in the goodness and the love of God to work healing and wholeness into our lives. Faith brings health to our spiritual life so that we are better able to care for ourselves emotionally and physically. And that is the premise upon which parish nursing is based. Parish nursing recognizes that our total selves must be healthy for us to be truly well. By working within faith communities, parish nursing acknowledges that the source of our health is God, who is, of course, the great healer. Gertie, again, it is lovely to have you with us today. I know you are surrounded by the people who arranged for this ministry to come to our church, the health committee, and they are supporting you every step of the way. But so that we do understand a bit more about parish nursing and get to know you better, I just would like to ask you these few questions. Gertie, I understand the mandate of parish nursing is to care for a person holistically by connecting faith to physical and emotional health. How has your own faith journey prepared you for this vocation?
Well, I believe my faith journey started many, many generations ago. I come from a family history of very strong believers that goes way back, and I fully believe that they were praying for me before I was even a twinkle in my parents' eye. And I was also blessed to be born to a mother and father who were very strong believers, and they raised me in the Apostolic Christian Church of Nazareth here in Kitchener. Then, as a young family, after we had our first daughter, we attended Trinity United Church just down the street, and that is a church where I was baptized, and I taught Sunday school there and was involved with some of the adult classes at Trinity. For approximately the last 15 years, our family has been attending Waterloo Mennonite Brethren Church, better known as WMB. And there I have been involved with Meals for Encouragement, dinner theater, Vacation Bible School. I believe that being raised in a strong Christian faith most definitely is an asset to parish nursing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, you attended Conestoga College for your nursing training. Why did you decide to follow a nursing career?
That goes back many, many years ago when I was approximately 8 years old. At that time, my parents, Leslie and Elizabeth Weinhardt, and my aunt and uncle, Teresa and Joseph Bowman, purchased a nursing home. It was in Bridgeport, and it was called Winston Hall Nursing Home, and it was an 8-bed, an old house and an 8-bed nursing home. They developed it into a 52-bed nursing home. And eventually, after about 20 years, they sold it to the current owners of Winston Park Nursing Home. I grew up in this nursing home setting, and I remember with my cousin, we were about 8, 10, 12 years old, and we would be playing nurse. We would have clipboards, and we would do our mock nursing rounds, going around asking everybody, how are you today? Do you have any pain? Is there anything I can do for you? And I knew from that time that nursing was a profession that I was going to be going into.
Now, could you please expand on your professional experience during your 30 years of nursing?
Did you have to say 30 years? I was fortunate to be involved with Winston Hall Nursing Home, and when I first graduated in 1978, I had the opportunity to work as a charge nurse at the nursing home for a few months. And I was real lucky to get a call from KW Hospital at that time, a few months later, for a job interview, and I did get hired on. At that time, there was a real shortage of nurses, so I was very fortunate to receive a position with KW Hospital at that time. I was a float nurse, or a nurse that went to various different floors, but my main focus was on medical floors and on the oncology unit. I stayed home for a couple of years when my girls were very young, and after that I got into a totally different aspect of nursing, which was called case management. And I worked for a private rehabilitation company, and then for the Economical Mutual Insurance Company as a case manager, which was to help out motor vehicle accident victims. I also worked for public health in the region of Waterloo. I did immunizations in the school system and immunizations for travel clinics as well as flu clinics. Last fall, I had a great opportunity to take a contract position at Grand River Hospital. I worked for 6 months as a patient flow coordinator, and this gave me great insight into the current hospital settings, and I really became aware of the needs in the hospital, especially the needs of beds and the shortages of beds that we had in the hospital. It was really, really a great knowledge of wealth that I learned in those 6 months. For approximately the last 6 years, I've been working with Community Care Access Center, which I've been a case manager there, just connecting people with the community resources.
Thank you very much. All of that experience will be of great benefit to us here. But have you held any non-nursing positions that would also benefit us?
I have. I've worked for the University of Waterloo for 13 years. I worked in counseling services in the capacity of a frontline team member. It was a great experience in which the students or the staff members, when they were in a crisis or a difficult situation, would come to counseling services, and I would often be the first person to meet them when they were going through a difficult time. And I would have a brief interview with them, triage them, and arrange for them to see the appropriate counselor for their needs. I also did various aspects of volunteering. I'm a real supporter of people volunteering. Currently, I am volunteering with the Waterloo Region Elder Abuse Education Committee. I am also with the Hospice of Waterloo Region on the Planning Committee. And I also volunteer for Oasis, which is in the downtown area, and it provides meals for persons that are homeless or just need a meal. In the past, I've also volunteered for Citizens on Patrol, which was a group of people in the downtown core that were the eyes and the ears for the Waterloo Regional Police. And I was on the Parent School Council. I was assistant leader for the Girl Guides, and also Sunday school teacher. For a brief time, I also helped with the Out of the Cold program at Trinity.
Thank you. With all of your experience in nursing and non-nursing positions, what attracted you to parish nursing?
This goes back to about, I would say, March or April. We have a group of about 5 families in our neighborhood. We call ourselves the Gourmet Group. And one of my girlfriends, some of you may know her, Barb Prisnick, would just mention at one of these dinners that she received an email that said that St. Andrew's will be hiring a parish nurse in the near future, and she was wondering if I might be interested in something like that.